Hi, this is Carolyn Service from O2Bstampin.com. Today I want to show you this cute little pop-up box card. It seems to be one of the latest paper crafting trends, but I wasn't a fan till I saw this one done with slightly different dimensions. It reminded me of a window box full of spring flowers, so I decided it would make a great birthday card for my granddaughter. If you're not familiar with pop-up box cards, they're great because they lay flat so that you can fold them up and put them right in an envelope. And then when the recipient gets it, she just folds it down, folds it open, and she has a cute little pop-up box card. So to start, let me put these aside, clear some space here. You're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11-inch base. And I'm using Whisper White here. And just so that you know, there's going to be a lot of different dimensions for this particular project. Don't worry about trying to keep track of them. I'll have them all written down at the end of the video. You're also going to need your Simply Scored tool. And you're going to lay the long edge of your paper across the top. And you're going to score it at 4 inches. 5 1/4 inches, 9 1/4 inches, and 10 1/2 inches. Okay, then you're going to put that piece that you just scored at the top, and you're going to notice that at the 7-inch mark, you'll see a score mark here. You're going to want to only score down to that score mark. So I'm just going to put a piece of acetate across there just to remind me. You're going to go up to the 2-inch mark and you're going to come down that 7 inches. Okay. Then you can put your score tool aside, and then you're going to need your paper snips. And one of the important things to remember here is that you want the shortest dimension at the top here. So this will be 2 inches, and this is going to, at the bottom is going to be 2 1/4. You want to cut the score marks at the top of the sheet. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of turn this over so that I can get to it. And you're going to actually cut this rectangle in the corner away. Okay, and then just cut down each one of those score marks to the first score mark. Okay, so your paper should look like this. Okay, throw this away. Now I'm just going to set this aside for right now, and we're going to stamp or create all of the little flowers that you're going to put in your box and whatever decorations that you want. We're going to go ahead and create those. Now, the way I decided to do this, it would be the easiest, was to just get out a piece of paper and stamp everything on there all at one time. So to show you what I've used here, I've used the small flowers from Petite Petals stamp set. I've used the larger flowers along the edge here from Flower Shop. And I used the Sentiment For You from Chalk Talk, as well as this element right here, also from Chalk Talk. And that's what I decorated this front flap with. Okay, but you could decorate it with whatever you choose. Okay, and everything punches out except for this one down here in the corner, the Chalk Talk. And that actually uses a framelit, matching framelit from the Chalk Talk framelit set. And so that's just going to go around like this, and then I'm going to run it through my Big Shot. Okay, and I'm not going to do that while the video is running, but I am going to show you how I punched out what punches I used for the rest of these elements. So for the little flowers, I used the Itty Bitty flower punch, and I'll just do some of these to give you an idea. Okay, so all of those will get punched out using that small set, okay? Then the larger flowers gets punched out with the Pansy Punch. I'll just do a couple of these. You're going to need several of the large flowers. I actually have 7, I would say use 7 or 8 of the large flowers. And I'd say 8 or 9 of the small petite petals flowers. Okay, then the For You, I used my 1 3/8 inch circle punch. And last but not least, I used the itty bitty butterfly punch to punch out this little butterfly right here. And actually I didn't show you that one. That actually comes from the Papillion Potpourri stamp set. And you can have more than one of these if you like. I just used one, but feel free to customize yours however you would like it. Okay, so while I go and cut out the framelit, Chalk Talk framelit, I'm just going to put you on pause for a minute. Okay, now I have all of the embellishments ready, and I want to mention to you also the colors that I've used in this particular project are crushed curry, which you could use any yellow, any colors actually, but these three I like together, Pool Party and Calypso Coral. Okay, so next I'm going to bring my box back out and I'm going to prepare it for the decorations. So before I actually make it into a box, I'm going to add the designer paper and some cardstock to it. But I'm going to just go ahead and crease these. And actually, I would usually do this with a bone folder, but I don't see my bone folder, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this by hand. Okay. All right. Now, the way this is going to go together is it will, these two flaps are going to come out like so. Oh, didn't mean to bend that one. Darn it. Okay, so remember where I said you just score the 7 inches? So you're just going to want to crease this. You're not going to want to crease that last part there. So sorry, didn't mean to do that. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of cardstock right over the top of that. And that's where the message is going to be for your recipient. So you can write on the back, okay? So that's why you don't need to crease that part, but if you mess up like I did, you're going to cover it with some cardstock anyway. But it'll look nicer from the inside as well if you don't crease that. And the dimensions of the cardstock that I'm putting on here, this one is 4 by 3 3/4. Again, like I said, don't worry too much about the dimensions because I will have those all written at the end. And this one is going to go here. And then we're going to have 2 more that go here. Okay, so these are like 1 by 2, these 2 small pieces. And this one is 2 by 3 3/4. And again, this one is 4 by 3 3/4. Okay, then you're gonna push these down, okay, and we're going to decorate those with, I guess it'd be easier if I do it this way to show you what I'm doing so it's not confusing, with Designer Series paper. Sometimes when I'm doing these projects, I make them and then it's a while before I actually get the video done, and so in that time frame, sometimes this is the wrong one. Sometimes the Designer Series paper retires, which I believe is what has happened with this one. I apologize for that, but you can see that you can use any designer paper that you want. Okay, so the larger piece is going here, actually on the back, the inside of the back. Okay, and that is 2 by 3 3/4. And then this one going here. This is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we have 2 small pieces that are 1 3/4 by 1. It appears as though I am running out of adhesive. Okay, that's going to go like that. And then the card will go together like this. Okay, now you can use sticky strip here, or you can use our new Fast Fuse adhesive. I think I'm going to try the new Fast Fuse adhesive just because I haven't used it yet. I want to try it out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so my Fast Fuse has decided to hide on me, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the regular sticky strip. But before I do that, I also want to add this blank piece to the back here so that I'll have somewhere to add my message. Of course, you can stamp on this or write on this before you put it down, which I actually would recommend, so it'll be easier once the box is all put together. It's going to be a little harder to write on it, although it does lay flat, so it may not be too big of a deal. Okay, and then you're going to want to add sticky strip. Find the end of it here. Here we go. Along this edge. I should have gotten my bone folder while I was up. Okay, and I always find the easiest way to work with sticky strip is to actually lay it down like this and then fold this over, and it'll come right together. Okay. Okay, and there you have your box all ready to be decorated. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is 2 strips of Whisper White cardstock, and these are going to be glued inside the box so that you'll have something to mount the flowers on. Bend those backwards and put a little bit of, you can use either snail or the Tombow glue. I'm going to use the Tombow glue, I think, on mine. I like the Tombow glue in that it's a little forgiving when you need to move things around. Oops, a little bit too much on there. Okay, and then you're just going to take your box and slide it right in the edge. Can you see what I'm doing there? Maybe not. How about that way? There you go. Okay, so that you can see that. Okay, so a little bit of a snafu on my video. When I went to play it back, I realized that my HD chip was full, and so it didn't record the last part of my video, but I think I can explain most of it to you. So where I left off, I was adding the little bars down in here, and so basically all you do is you take those little strips of Whisper White, score them 1/4 of an inch on each end, and then insert them down inside the card. See that? And one of them where I scored it, the score piece is going towards the back, and the one here on the front, the scored pieces are going towards the front, and that leaves you plenty of room to add your embellishments. So what I did was I just used my Tombow glue, and I glued several of these large ones right to those dividers. And then I took a piece of acetate, and I just cut a small strip, took a flower, one of my flowers, and some dimensionals, and just cut off a small piece of dimensional and put it right on the piece of acetate. Peeled that off, stuck that on the back of my flower, and then repeated that at the bottom. Stuck that right to the bottom of my acetate, and you want to make sure that the dimensional isn't any wider than your piece of acetate, so that it doesn't stick where you when you close the card, it doesn't stick where you don't want it. Okay, and then I just took that and I positioned it inside wherever you might want it. And then because it's on the little acetate, it also has some movement to it. So you can see I put the butterfly and a couple of these little small flowers on those acetate strips. So I hope that makes sense. I apologize that I didn't get to really finish the video the way that I had planned, but I think from this point it's pretty self-explanatory. And then when you get the box all put together, you're going to turn it over and add your space where your greeting's going to be, and you can stamp that or just write on it, whichever one you want, and then just fold it up, put it in your envelope, and send it on its way. So I hope you've enjoyed this video for the pop-up box card. My name again is Carolyn Service. I am at your service at o2bstamping.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great evening.